need a church that loves the sinner and hates the sin. I need a church that loves the sinner and hates their own sin.
Mm-hmm.
Many years ago, free from having to go to the church that my parents made me go to, I started to look for one of my own. Call it church shopping or church searching, whatever you will. I just wanted to be a part of something. To have somewhere to go on a weekly basis, sure, but to be a part of a bigger network, something that lasts more than just 90 minutes, once a week on a Sunday morning. I started trying out some small groups and very quickly got frustrated, disappointed, and a little hopeless, if I'm honest. One in particular was dubbed a young professionals group because there were no other groups at this church for 20-somethings, people beyond the scope of college. I may have been young, but I didn't see anything professional about me. Working in retail, sitting around a table with teachers and nurses and accountants, business folk. I didn't belong. Another church and another group, I also went to the group made for 20-somethings and experienced the exact opposite effect. With music blaring and wild and wacky games, it almost felt like a glorified youth group. People trying to extend the hourglass on those years as teenagers. And I'd never felt so old in a room of people. As I've had years to process my church shopping and what I was looking for in a church, and in particular a small group of individuals, I realized that my sexuality has had a large part to play in those decisions, in my expectations. And while this may not be true for every gay or SSA identifying individual, I certainly find it true of me, and I suspect many others out there, that because I'm not dating, that I don't foresee myself dating another person for the foreseeable future. I've translated a lot of those expectations into my local church to find someone that will complete me, fulfill me, be there for me, not just once a week, but every day, all week long. To say I do back to me and never fail me. And while it's good and right to expect something from our local churches, I wonder if I've simply been expecting too much, or simply not expecting the right things. Author Ronald Rolheiser had this to say about how some look at the church in his book, The Holy Longing. He says this: we go to church looking for friendship or ideological soulmates and often do not find them. This does not necessarily mean that there is something wrong with the church, merely that we have false expectations. To be an apostolic community, church, is not necessarily to be with others with whom we are emotionally, ideologically, and otherwise compatible. Rather, it is to stand shoulder to shoulder and hand in hand, precisely with people who are very different from ourselves, and with them, hear a common word, say a common creed, share a common bread, and offer a mutual forgiveness, so as in that way to bridge our differences and become a common heart. Church is not about a few like-minded persons getting together for mutual support. It is about millions and millions of different kinds of persons transcending their differences so as to become a community beyond temperament, race, ideology, gender, language, and background. He goes on to say this: church community can never be a functional substitute for emotional and sexual intimacy. It is not intended to be. One shouldn't go to church looking for a lover. And so, my brothers, those of you well integrated with your local churches and Those of you farther out, beyond even the shadows, in the middle pews or the back row or sleeping in on Sunday mornings. To the fulfilled and the forlorn, may God show grace on us for all the wounds we've received, for all the baggage we carry. By His grace, may we find healing and growth in this life. And may we also learn to show grace to the church. May we feel and indeed believe in this call to contribute as a member of Christ's body. That we have an incredibly important role to contribute, stories to share, empathy to build, hope to offer. May our own integration with the church make the church a better church, a stronger church, more complete for both current and future generations. Better and stronger for the outcast, better and stronger for the desperate, better and stronger for the angst-ridden. God go with us ever and always, His people, His body, His church.